Hi, this is Dr. Otto Janke for the Empire Longevity Podcast. Thank you for being with us today. So I was reading I think a pretty cool article the other day, and I'm going to talk to you about the aging process today. And I'm going to introduce you to a couple of supplements that I think are important along the way also. But the article, now understand this, was called Nonlinear Dynamics of Multi-Omics Profiles During Human Aging. I'd like to think I speak English, but I'm not quite sure what that title meant. So, so you read the abstract, and the last line is overall, this research demonstrates that functions and risks of aging-related disease change non-linearly across the human lifespan and provides insights into the molecular and biological pathways involved in these changes. So I had to go find out what that article said in English because I I didn't know by those words. That was in Nature Aging, which I'm sure you get that. So this one is from The Guardian. The Guardian reviewed that article, which led me to, so I read The Guardian and that led me to that article. Scientists find humans age dramatically in two bursts at 44 and 60. And I looked at this and said, what? We age differently. We don't age in a straight line or straight line going up or going down, whatever it might be for you. We don't age like that. We age and then we burst age, wait a little while, burst age. They're thinking it might be another 10 years down the line after 60, 20 years down the line. But the people, they were aging themselves out of the study, to tell you the truth. Research suggests that rather than being a slow and steady process, aging occurs in at least two accelerated bursts. The study, which tracked thousands of different molecules in people aged 25 to 75, so it's over 5 decades, detected two major waves of age-related changes at around 44 and again at 60. I found this absolutely astounding because when I read that, I'm 62 as of this recording. I read that and I said, holy crap, my body has changed in the last year or two. I have a chronicity of aches and pains. I don't move as well as I used to. I still move really well. I'm in fantastic shape, but I don't do as well as I want to. And that's one of the key things of it. And so I started looking at, wow, that's 61 years old. In the last year, 2 years, I started to really change. I was like, well, this is very, very interesting. I mean, so we don't go down, 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 in the aging process, down, 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 down. We go maybe kind of a little bit same, down a little bit, and all of a sudden, boom, down, a little bit, move along, boom, down again. I find that absolutely astounding. I find that super amazing. And I'm going to dive into this article a little bit more, tell you some of the stories about me along the way, and how we can then help you to be better for longer. I'm going to tell you that today is sponsored by our friends over at Particular, and it's Partiqlar. I'm going to say it for you again. Partiqlar.com. They're a supplement company, and why I got into them was because they make a wide range of it's called anti-aging supplements, but I hate the word anti-aging. So I'm going to say, how can we extend health for as long as possible? I think that makes much more sense than anti-aging, but they're called anti-aging because that's what the marketing is. But for me, it's how long can we push our healthy years? There's a supplement that's called NAD plus. And I'm going to read a little bit about to you because I have to set a premise for you right here. And it's NAD plus is a way to slow down, to allow your body to do more functions better. Yes, you might have wrinkles decrease and stuff like that, but you do it because it helps your body in a number of different ways. I'll talk to you about that in just a little bit. But you have this NAD plus, and this NAD plus allows your body to function better for hopefully longer. One of the key things it does is it decreases inflammation, which for us Americans is a major, major problem. And we need to find a way to really bring that down. And so our friends at particular.com, because I mentioned them today, are going to give you a 15% decrease in the price. And you have to use the code Empire15. Use Empire15. And you look at the two, so I'm going to talk about the two supplements later on, Pure MNN and Pure NR. One is a precursor to making the NAD plus, NAD. The other one boosts it. I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. But Particular, I like them because they got a really nice range of really neat supplements. I like them. So back to the article. You and I age differently. We don't age linearly. We age, we go along, drop, go along, drop. And they were studying this and they were like, uh-oh, we thought people just aged just right along. And we don't. And it's fascinating to find this out because what can we do beforehand to make these drops either one, not happen or decrease the opportunity for them to happen? Which means if I'm going to be moving along and my drop, say my aging acceleration is going to be, let's say, I'm just going to use a metaphor here. I'm using an example for you. Instead of it being, for instance, 7 steps down, I only go 2 steps down. Well, I've dramatically altered. I've dramatically improved my opportunity for aging. Dramatically improved it. And that's when we start looking at what can we do to do these things? What can we do to stop this? Instead of being, so for some of you, I mean, let's be honest about this. For some of you, instead of being 7 steps, it's going to be 10 or 15 steps. Now we have a humongous problem. Here's one of the odd things about aging is we need to slow down that process, or we need to actually increase our healthy time, which is what we're really doing. Excuse me as I take a hit of tea. I'm a big tea fan. I love tea. So we need to extend our healthy years. Extend the more healthy years. They look at the age 44 for a couple of different things. One is by that time, you're typically well into your family time. During family time, for the most majority of parents, their activity level changes. And I don't mean exercise, I mean activity, which means you're going run around after the kids more often. Second of all, they look at maybe your alcohol intake has increased because those are more stressful times. They said that in the article. I find that very, very interesting. They say that the alcohol intake would increase during this time because you have a more stressful time. I find that fascinating because we have 2 times that they're looking at that we're going to have these accelerations. Possible things that could happen. Well, also, the mid-40s aging spike was unexpected and initially assumed to be a result of perimenopausal changes in women, skewing the results for the whole group for men and women, which is interesting. But the data revealed similar shifts were happening in men in their mid-40s too. As they state here, this suggests that while menopause or perimenopause may contribute to the changes observed in women in their mid-40s, there are likely other, more significant factors influencing these changes in both men and women. The first wave of changes included molecules linked to cardiovascular disease and the ability to metabolize caffeine, alcohol, and lipids. So you start looking at that and say, wow, how many of you have yourself or friends will say, yeah, drinking alcohol just isn't as much fun as it used to be. I can't drink nearly as much as I used to. They say like 1 or 2, I used to have 3 or 4 or 5 beers a night. Now I have 1 or 2 and I just feel bad. I don't. Well, you're not metabolizing those things the same way. And maybe caffeine, maybe you do more caffeine or less caffeine, drinking more coffee, less coffee, because you're metabolizing those things. And lipids, fats are different because, well, honestly, you're different. It's, you think about this and why wouldn't you be different? Why wouldn't you be different? It sure seems like you should be. One of my on the Empire Longevity Insiders, that's our private Facebook group. If you're not a member of that, come on and join. It costs you nothing to do. You're gonna meet some really cool people in there. I post a lot in there also. But I was talking with I posted this article a little bit ago, and one of my friends, Pat Dance, she said, as she's getting to her 70s, you wouldn't know it. She says, my exercise, the way I move has changed. I said, what I find amazing about the aging process is that I don't anticipate. So I'm gonna set the premise for you here. I've never run the 100-yard dash in 10 seconds. I've never done that. But the metaphor is that I'm not going to be able to run the 100-yard dash in 10 seconds again. But I'm still going to run the 100-yard dash. Means I'm still going to go for things I want to do. Still going to go to concerts. I'm still going to go massive hikes that I want to. I may not. I may stay up as late as I used to, or run them as hard, or go as hard as I want to in those hikes. But I'm still going to go for them. I'm still going to go enjoy nature, which is one of the greatest things you do for your body. The second wave of changes include molecules involved in immune regulation, carbohydrate metabolism, and kidney function. Molecules linked to skin and muscle aging changed at both times. So the second wave, immune regulation. How important would that be for you? I mean, my dear Lord, how important is our immune system? Maybe it's because we hit a certain age and now I don't know what word we can use, dysregulate. We have a dysregulation of our immune system at that time. And it happens in that premise when it happens at that 60 years and it becomes much more notable. How can we extend the time when our immune system is actually stronger? How can we improve? How can we make that time longer where we have that great immune system? As I was talking with Pat, I said, what's amazing is my heart has beat pretty well for 62 years. I think about 7 years ago, I was diagnosed with AFib. It was really quite noticeable. I didn't take any medications for it. I told my doc who was about ready to write me a prescription. I said, I made the disease. I'll create the cure. She had no idea what I was talking about, to tell you the truth. But it was because of stress and lifestyle. That's why I had it. So I changed those things. But if our immune regulation becomes different and our carbohydrate metabolism, so maybe we do gain weight because of those things also. Does this also mean that we should change what we're eating when we get into our 60s? Do we need to go to a much more protein-based diet? I don't know. I think I need to look into that. As you know, I'm a veg head, so I'm a plant head. I'm a plant forward person. It's not that I don't eat animal proteins, just I eat a lot more of that plants instead. Previous research suggested that a later spike in aging may occur around the age of 78, but the latest study could not confirm this because the oldest participants were 75. The pattern fits with previous evidence that the risk of many age-related diseases does not increase incrementally, with Alzheimer's and cardiovascular disease risk showing a steep uptick after 60. It's also possible that some of the changes could be linked to lifestyle, behavioral factors. I'd have to think that a lot of them would be, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you think that a lot of that stuff is lifestyle? we look at, we talk about genetics, the genetic factors of you having diseases, but also the epigenetics. And the epigenetics are the genetics is the hard wiring. The epigenetics is what I'm going to do with that wiring, how I'm going to plug them in, where I'm not going to plug them into. That's your lifestyle stuff. It's also possible that some of the changes could be linked to lifestyle or behavioral factors. For instance, the change in alcohol metabolism could result from the uptake in consumption in people's mid-40s, which can be a stressful period in life. The findings could help target interventions such as increasing exercise during periods of more rapid muscle loss, authors said. I'm a big believer that we should try to adjust our lifestyles while we are still healthy. I think that's fantastic. They talk about the changes that happen to you with muscle loss, cognitive function. I mean, it's pretty important stuff. Pretty important stuff. Cognitive function, the muscle loss. I'll go back to my friends at Particular. Because you start looking at one of the supplements that I think is going to be important for you to look at, you should be looking at this stuff, is the NADs, NAD plus. They have two of these. Again, I say this because they're also a sponsor of ours today. But they have the Pure NMN, which is a precursor to the NAD plus. So this helps to push along and get to it. And the other one is the Pure NR, which boosts it once you have it. So now they have products that help make the stuff, but then boost it later on, make it more potent. How cool is that? I mean, it's pretty neat stuff. Again, if you're going to go to Particular, PARTIQLAR.com, PARTIQLAR. I'll put in the notes. .com. Use when you're looking to buy this, take a look at their whole site. They got a lot of really good stuff. When you check out, use Empire 15, you'll get a discount. You're welcome. But what the NAD also helps is may reduce inflammation, may support heart health. I mean, the #1 killer of Americans. We need to start finding more and more positive ways to beat that. Good for your muscles, may protect your brain. The NAD stuff it's what can we do on a regular basis? Let me put it this way. I'm a big fan of doing a few things that do great stuff for you. They have numerous things, positive things for you. For instance, exercise. You may do it, for instance, to lose weight, but while you do that, you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30 other great things that happen to you. So it's one thing that leads to many. NAD is kind of like this too. NAD is kind of like this. So go to our friends Particular, PARTIQLAR.com. Use Empire 15 on a checkout. You're looking at going into 2025 as a new and better you. You're gonna ask me what are some supplements we should take. I will tell you, and I think this is ones you should look at too. So if you're at your early 40s, you may have a bump in the road coming up. If you're in your late 50s, you may have a bump in the road coming up. How can we help you to decrease the bump? How can we help you to extend when the bumps are going to happen? It's not as hard as we think. We know our healthcare system right now is not set up to help us to be healthy for decades to come. Our whole premise in Empire Longevity is more better years. Our healthcare system is not set up for us to do that. Our healthcare system is get you to Medicare as quickly as possible and blame it on Medicare. How do I know? Because I see it happen all the time. So we need to extend our healthy moving, our mobility years, mentally, physically, emotionally. And mobility is not just physical, it's the mental, emotional, along with the physical. How can we extend those years? If you knew that there's going to be a couple of bad turns coming up on a slippery road, or in the road, there's going to be a couple of tough turns, and there's a sign right there that says, By the way, you're coming up to a big S curve. You want to slow down there. You're going to want to know it's there. You want to mitigate how tough those turns are. Research is showing us that our bodies take a couple of steps along the way, a couple of bumps in the road. If we know they're coming, what are you doing now to mitigate that happening? Or extend the time of the mobility years. This is what we're doing in Empire Longevity. We have friends along the way, sponsors along the way are going to help us to do this. How can we help you to do that also? This is the important stuff, so we can enjoy more years. We do the small stuff every single day so we can have more better years. That's our focus. Interesting article today. Interesting article. I want to thank our friends at particular.com for sponsoring today's podcast. If you have any questions, go to Particular and again, use that Empire 15 on checkout. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, always feel free to email me and or comment back on this. Let's get you great for more better years. That's where we do our magic. Thanks for being with us.